Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad for you, kids.
Yeah, that's not what this video is about, but they are bad for you. Welcome back. I'm here with Luke. We are still in Virginia Golf Cars talking about his business, and today's video really is about your first 30 days, the lessons you learn when you step in to a new opportunity. I'm sure your first 30 days were a breeze, though, right? Really nothing happened. You just came in, became the boss, and everything was great?
Yes. No.
No, I'm sure there have been some challenges. Let's talk about those. Here's my first question for you.
Hit me.
What's one lesson that you learned in your first 30 days that you didn't expect?
So I think the first 30 days was just not knowing the industry, which is fine. This is pretty easy to figure out, but just having to make decisions on the fly when you're now the boss and being like, yeah, okay, let's buy batteries, or let's do this, or we had to buy a brand new truck weekend.
Doesn't sound cheap.
We had an amazing opportunity for it to work out. We used somebody else's money to do it.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, so we had to buy a brand new truck. Thankfully, the previous manager did a fantastic job at like stewarding everything, and we had the income saved up and everything like that. It wasn't a planned purchase that needed to be happening, but coming into this, and I'm a prior mechanic in the Air Force, and I feel pretty strong mechanically coming in and like going, the current truck that we have now is fine. It's a 2002 Chevy 3500, but its current state, and then our backup vehicle was this busted up van that apparently leaks oil every day, and you have to put a quart of oil, if not two, every time you drive it because it burns oil that much. I'm like, if that link fails, this business crashes because I don't have a backup. So there's all these decisions that's like, okay, if we're going to do this and do this well, from the get-go, we have to sacrifice something, and that's spending money on a truck. But I've got a good, reliable vehicle that I can wrap now. We weren't doing any marketing. There's no marketing technically right now outside the website, but when you have a vehicle of yours driving down the road and there's no wrap on it telling people who you are, that's frustrating, because then no one, they see golf carts on a trailer, but there's no marketing saying, hey, this is who you got to call as a Virginia Golf Carts. Like, if you need something, call them. Now with our new wrap that's going to be getting put on here the next week or two, people will see that and be like, oh, golf carts, oh, I need to call, and I'm anticipating business going up from that.
So there's needed expenses that you kind of walk into.
Yeah.
And you got to make strategic decisions on those, obviously, because you're kind of taking this over. It's like your new baby, so you got to make sure you're treating it right. And then there's those opportunities, like getting a truck wrapped, where there's probably sales that you're missing out on if people don't know exactly who the golf carts belong to.
Soon they're going to see Virginia Golf Cars, and it's a red truck, and it's cool little branding that it has, and people will be like, oh yeah, golf carts. So as we're riding around 6 hours a day, it's going to be out there. People are going to know who we are. So
you got to make yourself known.
Yeah.
Stepping into a new opportunity, you got to make yourself known. People should see your business and connect you with it pretty quickly. All right, question number 2 for today. What do you now know that you wish you would have known before day 1 here?
I don't think there's anything that I wish I wouldn't have known. I think it's a little bit more fun jumping in and falling. We talked about Star Trek, I think, in the last video, but let's just jump off the cliff, and then as we're falling, figuring out what we need to know and stuff like that, because I think there's more growth that happens in that moment than there is if you come in already prepared, because you're going to come in probably with the perspective of this is how it's supposed to be, and then, just based off knowledge, internet, whatever, and you come in and it's the exact opposite. So, or it's, similar in some regards. So you already are coming in with this thought process like, hey, this is how it should be, or this is what it may need to be. And you come in and you get information from your techs or different people, and you're like, no, this is actually real world. This is what happens. You're like, okay, cool. Well, let me shove all that information out of the mind and start with something new. So,
you're okay with a blank canvas.
Yeah. I understand mechanical stuff. I understand this business idea and concept. It's not difficult. It's just that the little things of maintenance and the little things of rentals and the clients and how big is our fleet. Those are some things that we didn't know. But as soon as you get in, you start figuring these things out, and then you're asking, the previous manager or the partner, like, hey, what did you guys do last year on this? Then that's how you solve those problems. But I think the learning curve is far greater and more accomplished by just jumping in than coming in with preset, determined ideas and concepts that you just kind of did some research on.
I think one of the things for you is, like you said, the person who had the business solely before, you stewarded it very, very well. So I think you're coming in on a lot of information and you're set up for success.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody walks into an opportunity set up for success.
No.
And I think that question might hit differently if the previous owner did not set you up for success.
Yeah.
So I love how you guys use your judgment to say, is this the right thing for us? Wow, there's security and opportunity like we talked about in the last video, and it's coming from somebody we trust and who's handled it well.
Yeah. Well, and two, I have two thoughts here. Hopefully I remember both of them. The first one, if you're getting a business from somebody and you want to make sure that it's stewarded well, red flag should immediately go up if you start seeing like just sloppiness in certain things, or there's indicators that you should be aware of. Like, okay, this is not going to be a good thing. Like, you're either going to inherit a mess or you're going to inherit a blessing. Hey, that's for you.
There we go.
And then the other part of that is coming into something with a blank opportunity or a blank slate allows you, if you're innovative, to innovate what is currently working or not working and allow that change to happen. So again, I think just a blank slate allows innovation if you're an innovative person. And that's what we did. I came in and innovated the electronic CRM systems, changed how we did a bunch of different things with the mechanics side of things, changing what we're doing with batteries. And so that is going to hopefully benefit our customers and improve things.
We just came off a series called How Successful People Think. One of the big takeaways was you have to think big and focused. So one of the things I want to note here that I think you've done very well, me watching you guys come into here, is you thought big, you came in and you made a huge list of things that could be improved, things that could be changed, things that could take the company to the next level, but then you focused on a few. You just mentioned the CRM system. That's a good one. This is a high priority item. I think a lot of times I see individuals struggle when they come in and they make a huge list and they try to focus on everything at once. And the problem is, if you focus on everything, you don't get anything done. So how have you guys been able to narrow your focus down to the top priorities?
Well, it's just like the CRM. Like when we came in, there has to be a very, because every day there's customers calling, they're bringing carts in, we have rentals going out, we have parts that are being ordered. So it's not like I got to wait for something to happen before I do the change. Like, so as soon as we implemented the CRM, I told our manager, Jeff, I was like, we have 2 weeks to iron out everything in here, and he had to learn it. He had never used something like that. So, I'm using our CRM that we've been with now for 11 years. And that was an easy integration because I already knew it. I knew how to work it. Everything was fine. Implement that. And it's just a matter of, I got to train him. But at the same point, I've got to create all the email templates in real time. All the quotes and invoicing options in real time. And so it took a 2-week full focus to say, hey, let's get this foundational block set and ready for customers. Then we can move to the next block. Then we can move to the next block, and then we can move to the next one. So it's all building off of each other. But the big reason for success is because I already knew what was going on from our previous business, and I jumped in here. Or a person could get consulting from someone that, like a friend or someone that says, hey, I don't know how to do this stuff, but you do. Can you come in and like consult me on that? And I think that's crucial, but thankfully I had that. But there's other things like from the previous manager that I know nothing about car sales, and he did car sales with Ford dealership for like 30 years. So he's coming in here, he's like, well, you need to lay out these carts like this and put these signs on here like this, and we want the showroom to look like this. I'm like, bro, that's you. Like, you go do that stuff. I can't focus on that right now. You're the sales manager. You go handle all that. And that's also too, knowing when to let certain things go and letting those other people like take the lead on it. Because you can't come in and like be the mother hen of it all and helicopter parent everything. It's impossible. You will fail faster than anything. It's just, what can we focus on and understand what's going on over here, and then letting those people run with it until you get time to come over and start reflecting and stuff. And I think a lot of people will fail on that if they don't take the time to understand the whys and the hows and the process of certain things before implementing change.
Yeah, problems are not one-dimensional. There's multi things happening there, and I think you brought up a great point about focused thinking. Focused thinking is strategic thinking. You have to have strategy, and part of that strategy is, who can I bring in who's an expert in this, who could help me shortcut a lot of the lessons. So 30 years with Ford, I'm sure he has seen a thing or two about a showroom.
Yeah.
Super helpful. All right, third question I have.
Uh-oh.
Who or what has been the most helpful support or resource during this transition?
Nate Finari.
Nate Finari. You guys know Nate. He's been on the channel. Him and I have done some thoughts. Tell me how Nate has helped you out here.
So I don't want to go into too much details on the back end of certain things, but Nate Finari plays a huge role here at the golf cart business. But I will be honest, like Ash told me the other day, she's like, you and Nate, you need to go into business with everything that you do. Like he's been huge at on the acquisition side of this, of providing the insight needed for this, because he was co-running this before. And if I didn't have him like helping guide certain things, and then, you know, as us being partners coming into this and allowing me to just have the flexibility to run with things, I don't know, man, like it would have been crazy. But he, you know, was running it for 2 years, and then I was just able to like ask all these different questions. But he's been huge at just giving context and providing all the information from his experience.
I know the two of you, and I know the two of you pretty well, and you guys have very complementing strengths. You have complementing strengths. And I think that's what you have to find. The power of partnership is finding someone that you can complement each other's strengths, and you can shore up the weaknesses that we may have, because some of us are more big picture, some of us are more focused, and you really need both of those two together. And I think you guys are the dynamic duo in the golf cars business.
Maybe, we'll see.
So I think that's very helpful. Anybody else been helpful during this transition, or have helped you see things on a different perspective?
You know, shout out the spouse, of course, for the support there. I mean,
Oh, yes.
I mean, Ash just kind of like said, this is your thing. And we talked about it. Like, if we did this would be my thing that I need to run. And she's taken more ownership in a sense of the day-to-day for the photo businesses and such.
Don't skip over that point, because that's very important for you out there, okay? If you are married, when you have multiple businesses or you have multiple ventures that you're doing, it's so important to get down the goals and the roles. Who's doing what? Who's doing what? How are you helping each other? How are you encouraging and supporting each other? Because if you're not clear on goals and roles, all you're going to do is come home and talk about challenges. And if you keep talking about challenges, you're wearing each other down. No, you have to encourage each other. And clarity helps you encourage. So I wouldn't skip over that. You two are working in tandem with the two different businesses and celebrating wins together and identifying challenges, which I think is super helpful.
Yeah. Who else? Reese. Reese has been helpful.
We've had a couple phone conversations. How much did you know about golf carts when you first
I told you this
got the phone call?
This came from outer space left field. I never paid attention to golf carts.
Had you ever rented one yourself?
No. I mean, so us shooting weddings, we always get on them at golf courses or, you know, resorts, different things. People have them and stuff like that. We'll always use them. But never in my mind did I ever consider like, oh, I should start a golf cart business. Like, there's things that you do every day. All of you will do things every single day, but somebody out there has a business for it. They're doing a business of something that we use or partake of every single day. But just like photography, we never thought we'd be photographers, but we found a way for it to make us income and pay off our debts. So I think surrounding yourself with like really good friends, and as a business owner, you're developing that friendship, figuring out who those people are. So when you need help, you know, or need guidance on certain things, you can call them up and be like, hey, this is what I'm going through, or what are your thoughts on this? Because your friend group has different scenarios that they're all involved with, you know. I'm not sure what Reese does yet, but he's there.
Me neither.
You know, and you got others that you can call and just ask for help with, you know, and help you as you make these decisions and guide you through it. So
yeah, there's that cheesy phrase that many of you probably have heard, that your network determines your net worth. And people think, hey, if I just get a bunch of friends, I'll have a lot of opportunity. No, it's really more of a crock pot process. It's really more of something that's going to cook over time. It's got to simmer all day. It's kind of the same thing. You're going to take multiple years of developing relationships, building people, speaking into people's lives, and all of a sudden, when opportunity comes, you're going to have the right people to help you along the journey.
I think they say, 25 years for you to become an overnight success?
Yeah.
And what people perceive as like, oh my gosh, they came up out of nowhere. That's an overnight success. But it's taken 25 years on average for people to like really develop their businesses, create their brands, create their online presence, to where all of a sudden they're out there and people are like paying attention to them. But you've got to put the hard work in, and you've got to have that team and community for that, and to get you where you got to get to, you know.
So keep showing up, get the right people around you, and when opportunity comes, you're going to be ready. I'll see you tomorrow.